Pretty much. All right.
Episode 9.
Almost to double digits. No one thought we could get here, including
All
me.
10 people that watched last time. Oh, look at that one was spot on, dude.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
That was good. All right. So, Purple Rain. Mike has now made it a theme that he's going to wear absurdly weird T-shirts on the podcast. That he's one of the only Sacramento Kings fans, so I guess he has to represent.
Left in existence. The only
Yeah.
person that can take that much abuse for so many decades. Still
Will
be a
you
fan.
continue to be a fan when they move to Las Vegas?
They're not moving. The fan base is too good. Trust me, they're not moving.
Well, that wasn't the question. The question was when they move, because they will.
They're
Will
not
you
moving.
still be a fan? Okay.
Yes. They're
Well,
not moving.
you're gonna move too, so it doesn't really matter anymore. So you're moving, and they will move. How much? We can make a bet right now. How much within the next 10 years there will not be a professional basketball team in Sacramento? I would make that bet all day.
I guarantee you, 10 years from now, there will be. Okay, so 10 years from now, let's
Yes,
bet a bottle of Whistle Pig.
that's done. Easy.
Okay, bottle of Whistle
What
Pig.
is today?
It is
May 17th,
17th.
2025. Probably by
So May
next year.
17th. So they have to be in Sacramento still through the 30, 34, 35 season.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully neither one of us is dead by that time.
Yeah. We'll just go to the wives, I guess, and be like, "Hey, I know this is a hard time for you, and I know you probably haven't recovered from Mike passing, but I don't know if you saw, but I don't know if you saw this, but the Kings did relocate to Seattle, so he does kind of owe me this bottle of whiskey that I was kind of banking on. So sorry, you're gonna have to kind of fork up the money for that. Sorry."
I think that's actually going to happen before long. The Supersonics coming back.
So let's just everyone who's watching this, the few of you, he just said the Kings are never moving, but then he just said it's going to happen soon that the Sonics are coming
No,
back.
no, not the Kings relocating to Seattle. I'm saying the
They probably
Supersonics
will.
are no. Supersonics are on the list with gosh, who was it? There was a couple other cities that they announced in the NBA as like front runners if they were to do an expansion.
Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville would be sweet.
They probably would. They're the front runners to get an MLB team for
That
the
would be
expansion.
amazing.
Expansion in like 20, I think it's 26, 27 that year. They're going to decide on an expansion, I think, or that's when the CBA's up. So I think that's when they can discuss the possibility. There's no guarantees, but I think
It'll
that's
be
when
years from then, even
the,
probably.
the MLB can discuss with the new CBA getting an expansion team. But yeah, it probably wouldn't be till 2029,
Well, the challenge
2030.
with that is that for example, for the A's that are moving to Vegas,
Yeah.
they at least had the River Cat Stadium in Sacramento, a triple A stadium that they are like temporarily using as a home for 3 years.
Yeah.
Nashville doesn't have a professional baseball field at all.
The current Nissan Stadium is no longer going to be used by the Tennessee Titans because they're building a $150 gazillion brand new stadium for the Titans. So Nissan
Really?
Stadium will be vacant. Yes, that I think
Where,
that's one of
where's
the
the new one
big.
going to
I think
be?
it's a good question. I don't know. It's not downtown. Like it's not as close to downtown. I think like Nissan is, but I think that's the number one reason why Nashville's the number one team for an expansion is because they wouldn't have to build a new stadium. They would just have to modify Nissan to fit, to be more like a baseball stadium instead of a football stadium, which is probably $100 billion cheaper to modify a stadium
Right.
than it is to build a brand new one. So yeah, but yeah, the Seattle Supersonics will come back within 10 years, and the Sacramento Kings will be. They may not be in Vegas because I don't know if Vegas continues to just keep wanting sports teams. I don't think it's that
Well,
great
it
of
doesn't
a. I
have to
don't
be
know.
Vegas. The bet
Well, I
is they're
know,
going to leave Sacramento.
I know, but I was thinking about where else they would go. I don't really know what other cities are like where they would go, but they're not going to stay in California. They're not going to.
We'll see.
If you're not in San Francisco or LA, you're not going to survive.
Okay, so hold on. Let's back up for a second. NBA talk, just for a
Yeah,
second, until we move on. How rigged was the Dallas Mavericks getting the number one pick for Cooper Flag?
it's such a joke.
It
Such a
like
joke.
like one of those things where like I can't even think of an example right now in American culture, but the people in charge so blatantly cheated
Oh yeah,
that they're
big
just
time.
like, "What are you talking about?" You're
Yeah,
like,
and Adam Silver's like, well, it wasn't rigged. They only had a 1.8% chance of getting it, and we're like, yeah, that's what we're saying, dumbass.
"Yeah,
It's
like, bro."
impossible.
But the funny part is it's not even like it's a one-off event. If you go back and look at all the different things that have happened, it was like LeBron leaving the Cavaliers. They got Kevin Love. Like
Yeah,
it's like the Pelicans losing Anthony Davis to the Lakers. They
they
got
get
Zion
Zion
Williamson.
Williamson. Yeah,
Like every year. And then the
yeah.
best part though is watching the video of Nico or whatever that guy's name is, the
That guy
young
probably paid Adam Silver a lot of money or did some unforgivable things to get that
I
pick
don't think so.
because I'm
I
pretty
don't think
sure that
so.
city I'm pretty sure that city is one bad day away from having that guy's head on a spike.
But you know what, though? I agree with you. But I don't think that he is the mastermind. I think it's the NBA. The NBA said the Lakers have to have a superstar. LeBron clearly can't cut it anymore. So they're like, we're going to give Luka Doncic to the Lakers. In return, you get the number one pick. I think it was a backdoor deal.
Yeah, that makes more sense. That I mean, because you look at that trade and you're like, there's no reason you would do that trade unless you knew
To
you were
this
going to get
day,
the
I'm
number
like,
one pick.
why would you give up Luka Doncic
No,
to get Anthony Davis?
because you're going to get Cooper Flag and you don't have to pay him
Exactly.
for years,
Exactly.
and then they'll trade him away before he's due for his big contract too.
It's just it's all
But
collusion,
teams
man.
like Sacramento and teams like Washington, Sacramento, all this, they'll never survive. The league is slowly trying to kill them by making it so they're the only good players go to the big market teams. They're just slowly killing them.
Yeah, it
I
sucks.
mean, when do the Kings draft and what's their pick?
We don't even have a lottery pick.
Oh, so you guys are getting real good.
No, the Kings have always been where we've never been like I'm trying to give an example of like we're not like the Charlotte Hornets. We're not going to go 20-62. We're the team that's going to hover around
Yeah, they're
37 to
just
40
good
wins.
enough. Yeah,
To
just good enough to not get better.
Yep, exactly. But
Well, I
this
mean,
was supposed to
it
be the
did kind
year.
of prove. Yeah,
I mean, like, look at this though.
yeah.
Last year, last offseason, we were unbelievably surprised by DeMar DeRozan, who's still, I mean, even at 35, he's legit. I mean, he's averaging like 23 points a game. His game is terrible for our style of play. But when he
Yeah.
came to the Kings, then Zach LaVine, it's like, okay, we're a smaller market team getting these bigger names, but they're kind of like everyone's like sloppy seconds. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they're not piecing people together. It's just like one
And we're not
name
drafting.
after a name. It's like,
Like you need
yeah,
to draft.
it's
If you look
just,
at OKC, if you look at these teams that are coming up, they're drafting and developing their own players. Like Shea
well, look at
Gilgeous-Alexander,
the
I know he's
Warriors. Their
yeah.
dynasty was built off draft picks.
Oh no, yeah, yes, yes. I thought you meant currently, but yes, in
Yeah.
the past.
No. I'm saying the dynasty. I mean, I consider it,
Yes.
we're kind of past the dynasty
Clay,
years. The
Curry, and
dynasty
Draymond.
years, I mean,
Yes.
people, oh, that team was rigged. It's like, well, those three were draft picks. It's not,
Yes.
they built those guys that they draft. I mean, that's obviously, it's a gamble. No one really knows. I mean, there's certain people are going to be good, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like Greg Oden was a draft pick too.
Right.
So you still
Yeah.
never know
Number
how
one.
people are going to pan out. But yeah, they need to either just go all in and get like giant name, not like good names. Like they're gonna have to go in and get like Giannis or
Yes.
go get someone, and it's
Yeah.
like the problem is like does Giannis Antetokounmpo want to go to Sacramento? No, he does not.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Does a number one caliber starting all star want to go to Sacramento? No, they don't.
Probably not.
It's just the market. It's historically, why would you want to go there? Yeah. So it's like unless you, but it just takes one. You have to at least you have to get draft picks. You have to build people up to make it incentivized for stars. Like just you have to make a team good enough to where you can be like, hey, we're one superstar away from making a legit run, and then you can convince a star, be like, hey, this is, you've seen what we've built up, you come join this. But now it's like, it's hard to convince a superstar to come and be like, we're gonna build around you. We don't really know how. We'll make it work once you're here, but we're gonna make it work. It's like, it kind of has to be working before you get someone that can take you all the way. You know what I mean? You have to build enough to convince someone like that to go there, unless you just pay them a redonkulous amount of money to where they're just like, I don't care. And I don't think the Kings have that.
No, I mean, we can put together big contracts, but not like not the $300 million ones.
No,
There's no way.
that's what I mean. So they're gonna have to build up draft picks and other picks and stuff. And it's like, you have
Well,
no lottery picks. It's like, that's
but I will
not
say
good.
one thing though. The Stockton Kings did win the G League championship, and they do have some G League players that are legitimately like almost NBA ready. You could be pulling some people up.
But that's not getting you a run for the championship. That's just filling roster spots. I'm
Yeah,
not
but I'm just saying.
talking crap because I'm not a professional athlete, but I've been to G League games, and I went to G League games in Santa Cruz when they were there. And every now and then, an NBA player would get sent down for like rehab. And my God, if an NBA player got sent down to the G League, I mean, they would walk and score 45 points. Like, just making people look silly on the court, like not trying. So I think there's a pretty significant drop. I mean, look at Mac McClung. That dude averages like 50 points in the G League, and then he goes up to the NBA. He goes up to the NBA teams and just gets
He's too small.
walk. Just gets take. He gets taken on a walk in those NBA games. They just bully him, and then he goes to the G League, and it's like there's a significant drop off between G
Yeah,
League and NBA. Unfortunately, I mean the G League guys are still probably the top 1% of players in the world, but
yeah, it's so fun to
the
watch.
NBA is the top 0.1% of players in the world.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference when you're talking about skill level. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really watch basketball as much anymore anyway. So
Well,
there's no
that's changed
basketball out
subject.
here.
People are probably bored of this.
I
All
think
you
people are
people.
bored pretty often. Yeah, all five, probably three this week. I don't really have anything new other than your process of getting closer and closer every week. We're just going to talk about how much it's closer and closer and closer for you. So
Well, I was very happy today. You know when you have something in your mind and you're thinking it's going to be a certain way, and you've kind of, I don't know whether it's pessimistic thinking, but you have this idea of what it's going to be, and then when you actually like do it and you realize that you were way off and wrong, it's kind of exciting. You're like, oh, I have $10 in my wallet, and then you open it, you're like, I forgot I had those $200 bills. That's rad.
yeah,
I
that's
was in
nice.
my truck putting those black and yellow Costco bins, configuring them because in my mind's eye, I was like, I could probably fit like four of them, like two double stacked or just doubled up.
No,
So four.
more than that.
Well, so then I go and I'd actually take them and go open the
Yeah,
back of my truck and go to put them in. And I was like, whoa, I can fit 10. And the
that's what I
cool part,
said. We had this conversation. Remember
I
that?
know, it's 10.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
lot
what I
of that's
say.
a lot more than I thought.
Yeah,
So
saves
that's
you some.
cool.
Yeah,
But then
that was
but then what
nice.
happened was then I reconfigured like Tetris, and then if I instead of having
Hmm.
them take up the whole width of the back, if I turn them sideways, I can get six of them on the left side, which is more than I thought already. And then I would have an entire half of the back open where I can put my prized possession that's coming with me, which is my Sacramento Kings Arco Arena stadium seats are coming with me, so they're going to go right on the side. I'm very excited about that.
You're taking seats with you. But I did.
Oh yeah,
I just want to. We can go back and fact check this in the whatever episode it was. I said that you should slide them sideways and you would get more room back there. But I just want to throw that out there. That no big deal.
yeah.
But
I mean,
I did
there's
say
only
this
four
months ago.
directions to
But
choose
no
from.
big
So
deal.
what? You made a guess.
Oh, you're starting to lag again.
Oh,
You're starting to lag again.
how about now?
Scoot up. Get closer to the camera. Scoot up. Get closer to the camera. For some reason, when you lean back, it started lagging.
Is it lagging now?
No, it's still lagging. You're frozen.
Wonderful.
May
Oh,
have
it
to
says trying
pause.
to reconnect.
Oh, it's going. No, you're up. You're good now. So I'm gonna restart it. All right, I think we're on pause. We're having some technical difficulties. Yeah.
They gave me a note under the door. Daddy, we're back. So we were talking about the truck. The truck.
Pretty much everything
You know what's funny
besides my
though? When you're
clothes
trying to organize all
and
this stuff, it really puts into
photos
perspective what are the
and
things that you really
yeah,
want
that's
and care
pretty
about.
much it. Like not a whole
What are
lot
the
of stuff
things
that I
that
would really be
don't make
like,
the cut
I
that
guess
you
that's
really
gone.
are like, if I lost that
Guns,
stuff from my life, I
all of my
wouldn't
like
even care.
old, like I have all my old badges and patches and
So
stuff and
kind of
challenge
a cool like
coins
spring cleaning
and the
vibe.
jerseys. I'm just looking around this room. The jerseys, my plaques, the awards I got, some of my pictures of me and Odin. Yeah, the badges, challenge coins, and all my clothes, and I think I'd be pretty much good. I'd be chilling. I wouldn't really need much more than that.
Guns.
That's all I really. Fishing rods, yeah. 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 So, and the other good news is we are selling our land on Monday. So, for getting some, it will be nice for sure. There's nothing wrong with getting some money
That's
put
where
in the bank
I'm pretty much
like that. That'll
clothes,
be pretty sweet.
fishing rods, guns, and then kind of
Probably. I
my
wouldn't even really
collectibles,
go
like my
back
basketball
there. I
stuff
don't really.
for the
There's
man
not really
cave.
need to. There's other places
That's
that are
gonna go into
closer now that we
existence.
can go fish that are much much better than that.
Yeah,
So, well, I can't even use that app anymore. So
that's gonna be a weight
I don't.
lifted.
If this podcast was the thing that sent that lake to be overfished, I would be
Now, can you still
shocked.
fish the pond?
There's no way.
I know.
There's maybe. That's a good spot. I know. I almost thought about going back today, but
Don't
I
you dare
didn't.
drop a name.
We're just busy with figuring out the house stuff.
Don't
We
do
are
it.
also in the market to buy a house. So
Why?
selling land and buying a house, all trying to do it simultaneously. So super fun stuff. You're building a house, we're buying a house,
I mean,
trying to
there's
buy a
at
house.
least
So it's a
yeah.
lot of moving parts. Her
That spot's legit.
parents are trying to finish their house.
It is.
Carrie and Jared are moving into their house. They closed yesterday, so they officially have that house. Yes. So they're moving into a new house. Her Danielle's parents are moving into their new house at some point in the near
Absolutely.
future. We're selling our land. We're trying to buy a house, and Carrie and Jared are also trying to sell their land. So if we end up buying a house and Carrie and Jared sell their land, then everyone will be after like 5 or 6 different transactions.
On the
Everyone
new
will
house?
be all good and will be set, and everyone will be at their spots. But for now, we're the last missing piece to find the spot to move to. So we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. There's like 6,000 houses on the market right now since school got out, so I'm not worried about that. There's a lot. So it's becoming a buyer's market. Yeah, so that'll help us a little bit. What's new? What else is new? I don't really have much else new other than just training
I have to
dogs.
change my address in all my forms now.
There you go.
Mm.
You asked me if I've ever had pre-workout? Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back?
Good. Yeah, that's exciting news.
Yeah, no.
Man,
She sleeps on her back.
let
That
me tell you.
was
So
it's a
I went
catch
to
a
the gym
phrase
again
right
this
there.
morning.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know. Have you ever had pre-workout?
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, she probably couldn't sleep on her front because
What is it?
there'd be like the waterbed would break.
What? Oh yeah. Yeah, that
Picking up
stuff's pretty
something
good.
down there. Yeah, I know. I got the joke.
Were your eyeballs
So
shaking?
I
Were
don't
your
do
eyeballs
pre-workout.
vibrating? Were
I
you
am
sweating?
not a gym rat. I don't count my carbs or my calories. I don't care. But my stepson left a very large container of pre-workout with caffeine in it in the pantry. It's called Gorilla
Oh yeah.
something, Gorilla Mode.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's good. I
You know it's good when you can feel the vibrate in
dude,
your skull. That's when you know pre-workout's good.
half a scoop,
Like the
and I was
original
like,
Jacked 3D.
"Yeah, I'm ready to go to the gym."
The original
And I
Jack.
get there and I start
Oh, it
working
is
out, and
now,
I'm
yeah,
like
because it was
halfway
basically
through
they
my
figured
workout,
out
I'm
that it was
like,
like one
"Dude,
chemical.
I gotta
Yeah, it
go
was basically
home.
like one chemical
I gotta poop."
molecule off of being an
I mean, it
amphetamine.
was like
But yeah, that stuff
I was
got
like
you. That,
vibing,
that stuff
amped, and
got
then I
you
was like,
amped
"Oh
up. You
no,
were lifting the
this is
entire.
not
You were
good.
running around, sprinting
I
around the
gotta go
gym, lifting up
home."
everything on that stuff. But yeah,
Isn't that
yeah.
weird?
You lifted weights in the gym, and then you were breaking down the drywall, trying to rip out the copper piping, and collecting batteries and random wires in your backpack. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I don't take that
You
stuff
were like
anymore. Danielle
you
does
were
not
lifting
like
at the
me
gym,
taking
and then they
those
saw
things,
you
so I
after the
try
gym
to
running
just
around and
drink
collecting
like
cans from every 7-Eleven around the
espresso
neighborhood.
shot of coffee or something to try and get me going. But those were the good old days when I would just, dude, you just slam like 400 milligrams of freaking caffeine and a red powder, just shake it up and just
Yeah.
down that thing. Oh
Underneath
my
cars
god,
getting
those were the
catalytic
best
converters,
workouts ever.
things like that.
Oh,
All toxic.
oh, you feel great. It probably takes years off your life, but it feels great. Working out is easy when you're on that stuff.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, I did feel
Hmm.
pretty good though.
Hmm.
So, well, speaking of that working out, I'm like sitting here in this chair, and man, not only do I
Yeah.
have a bum wrist, I couldn't even
Get
bench
some wrist
today
straps.
because the
Put those on there. They make
sideways
wrist
movement of
straps.
my wrist is really
Not
painful.
gloves. You don't want to wear
So
no
all I
fingerless
could do
gloves are
was
bad. Wrist
grip
straps are good. Those are
the
fine. Those are
bar
approved. You
and
wear
then
fingerless
kind
gloves in
of
the
like
gym,
what am I trying to say?
that's not good. No.
Lock my wrist
Wrist
so it wouldn't bend. And then I basically would
yeah,
just go down as far as I could go without
I
having to
wear wrist
bend
straps and I do
because I
chest
was afraid that
sometimes.
if I
It
tried to
just gives
bend
you
it, it
more
would just give
stability in
out.
your wrist. Yeah,
And that'd be
it just helps a
embarrassing.
little bit. You can lift more. Yeah, you can buy them
Oh,
online. It helps.
I know, but that's
But yeah, I my workouts are significantly different than they used to be. Like back in the day when I had no responsibilities and you just go to the gym for like 2 hours.
yeah.
And I look back at pictures now and I'm like,
You're also
God,
buying extra bleach
wish I could get
for
back to that. But I don't
your
really have
hair.
the time. At least
Really?
sometimes sometimes 3 hours. And I would play
I think I
basketball
might
for
need to
like an
try
hour,
that.
like pick up basketball for an hour and then work out for 2 hours. That really when you get yeah when you do get strong at the gym and you start walking around when you're young you think it's like for females but the only people that
Two
compliment you are other
hours?
dudes, so that is like a common gym
About
theme when you're in
45
shape and
minutes
you
to
go in the
an hour.
gym. Yeah, exactly, it's all just dudes looking at just dudes checking out other dudes. That's all it is in the gym. So but yeah,
You were just trying to pick up dudes.
what yeah, he
You're
must
pickup
work out.
games with dudes.
He must work out. But yeah, I'm just the dogs I have right now are good. Just thinking about other things. I've got like 10 something days left, and
Bro,
then
your
I
bicep
am on
girth.
my somewhat vacation
Looking
for a
good.
month. So that is what I'm looking forward to. I've been looking forward to that for six
Remember
months.
that scene from
So
Dumb and Dumber?
and we got
He must work out.
exactly. Well, I also if this all works out, I may be it may work out perfectly because I won't have dogs, and we may be moving, so I may have time to actually move. Because if I have dogs while I'm training and we have to move, that's gonna suck big time. That's gonna
Well, you've
be
been looking
very,
forward
very
to
difficult. So
going
it'd
out
be
of
nice to
town
have it in the month where I'm
so
off,
then
so
you
we can
can
pack and I'm
move
not
or
having to worry
come
about
back and
training
then your
dogs or
bestie's
anything. We
moving
just
out
get all our
there.
stuff together
That's
and
what you're looking forward to.
get it done within the month. So that will be very nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's be tough.
Problem is June 25th or whatever through July 1st we're gone. So we're in Florida. So no, we'd
Well,
have to move very
timing wise, if
fast.
you look
We
at
would
the
have to
date,
move pretty much within a
Monday's
week. We'd
the
have to. I mean, that's
19th.
doable.
So if you were to go into contract on a house next week, you're looking at close like the
Oh, you
third
mean like
week of
close
June.
earlier? No,
You'd
because
have like a week and a half of
no.
there.
I mean, you could, but I just you want to do an inspection. You want to get all that stuff done. You don't want to rush that stuff. So no, I mean,
So
yeah, I
then it
know.
wouldn't
In the
work.
banks, when you're doing lending and stuff, because we're not paying for it outright, so the bank usually needs 30 days to get all
I
that stuff
mean, the
together
other
and
question would be, could you do like, do they do 15-day
get the loan
escrows
prepared
or?
and all that. So unless you're paying cash,
Well, because I'm
that's really
saying
the
you
only way
couldn't
you can do
close on the new
15.
house to move into it until 30 days.
Yeah, just because there's no financing going on, there's
Yeah,
no one involved. It's just a wire transfer.
correct.
So, and as long as the person who's wire transferring the money gives them the go ahead, then they're like, sure, I don't care. It's your money, it's not mine. So then they just facilitate the wire transfer. So, but yeah, no, we would do that. But yeah, we'll be going to Texas and Florida and California, unfortunately, but
It's just a
it's for a
cash
good
offer
reason. We're going to
just
California
because there's no
the
financing going on.
29th of this month. Yes. Yeah, my niece is graduating high school, which is wild to think about. It's like thinking about when I got pulled out of eighth grade. I still remember I was in science class in eighth grade, and I got pulled out of class
When
because
was
she
the
was born.
California?
Got to go to the hospital, and now she's graduating high
Of
school.
May?
Weird,
I didn't know that.
old, very old, super old, not good. So weird. It's so weird just thinking about like her when she was super young, and I'm like, oh, she's going to college. Like, I'm like, what? It's a very very weird thing, but she's very smart. She's not like me, so
Dang.
she'll be very successful because she didn't get whatever brains I
How's that
got.
make you
She
feel?
got much more. So
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah,
These happenings of feeling old have been
yeah,
occurring for me of late, probably from looking at social media. But, and what I mean by that
yeah,
is when you were a kid, when you were my age and you're in the 90s
yeah. I
and you're
know,
watching all these shows
I
and
know.
there's these characters that are, what you deemed as being young and they're in their 20s. And now I'm
Yeah,
seeing either they're
yeah.
dying or I look at them and I'm going, how does that
He's
guy look
Yeah, he's rough. But
75?
I
And
mean,
I'm
I think
like,
that's some
wow,
medical stuff. But I
he
mean, he
is
is older.
75. That's because when I
But I
watched
mean,
the
still, it's like,
show,
yeah,
it was
he was
30
like,
something
yeah,
years
'90s
ago.
country. It was
And
all
now
Alan
they're
Jackson, and he
in
was the
their
man.
70s. Like for
And that was, yeah,
so
it's
CMT, not CMT,
coming up,
on
coming up
what
on. I
was
mean, that
it?
was
The
30 years ago.
country
So
music
yeah, it's like, yeah, it makes sense.
ACMs. Yeah, just the other night,
They were in
looking
their
at Alan
40s, and
Jackson, he can
yeah,
barely walk.
watching athletes now, where it's like they're 18
Yeah,
years old playing professional
but
sports,
he's
and you're
old.
like, because when you're young, you like look up to professional athletes are just these older, like
Yeah.
people that are adults
You take
playing
up like
professional
George
sports, and now
Strait.
you're like,
George
oh,
Strait
I'm
looks
older than
old.
I would be old in pro sports now. Like I would be in the
Yeah,
last handful of
crazy
years
though.
of my career,
That
if
makes you
not
feel
already
old.
retired. It's just it's super weird to think about, but yeah. Oh, those guys are old, dude. They're old. Yeah, they're not old. It's just from what you remember them as. Yeah, all these people, and you're like, oh man, that's doesn't slow down for anyone.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll be in California. Probably say hi to you at some point.
Yep.
We were talking about Yeah,
Or look at
we
like
were talking about
Scottie
that
Pippen
yesterday. If
and
we
Michael
wanted to try
Jordan.
and
You
so
see
I think
their
we have like
faces
one
now.
extra day,
They're
and it's
and
like
we're
we're
and
just trying to
old.
figure out
They're
if we want to
60.
meet up with people
Like,
or just hang out with my family or what exactly we
yeah,
want to do. But
yeah.
we may try and grab lunch
Just bizarre.
with people out there or something. Maybe call the
No,
Milroys or
it's not
something to
fair.
you guys. meet up in meet up in town and do something.
Are you gonna stay at your mom's
But
house?
it'll be like a Saturday, I think, because I think her graduation. I think we get in on like late Thursday, and her graduation's on Friday, and then we don't go home till. No, it's the weekend after. No, next week's the 24th, and then it's the we get in on Thursday the 29th, and then we
Up to
come
you.
back on June 1st. So it's 29. So Saturday's the 31st. So
Oh wait, hold on a second. The 29th?
can't wait
That's
to get back
not.
to California. Yay.
I look at my
So
calendar. That's not
excited.
next weekend. That's not Memorial Day weekend, is it?
I'm excited for In and Out.
I was gonna say we're gonna be out of town Memorial Day weekend.
That's about it. Other than that, yeah. They broke ground on the In and Outs out here, so once those are in, then I'm done. It's all good. We're good. There's no reason to. Yeah,
We're going to the.
I can just drive up 10 minutes up the road, 15 minutes up the road, and go get In and Out, and we're good.
It's
Except
great.
for
I love it here.
no, it's going
You
in.
know,
I forget the intersection in Franklin, but it's
In and
not
Out's pretty
on.
legit.
It's in Franklin, yeah. There'll
It
be one in
is.
Murfreesboro and one in Franklin. There's gonna be two of them for now. I'm sure they'll make
So
100
excited.
of them out here once they set it all up and
So
get the
excited.
headquarters established. So, but the first week it's open.
Is it going on Main
Yeah.
Street?
What's I'm saying, the first week it'll be here. I'm sure the other they put one in like Idaho or something, like the first one ever, one of those states,
Oh, it's
and
in
the
Princeton.
line was like it was all day. Like you had to wait like 10 hours to get a burger. Like
Dude, I
they
bet it's
opened
gonna
up like, okay,
be.
you can start lining up now, and cars like it literally took all day for you to get your food. The drive-through line was
I don't even. I bet you go there. It's gonna be lines down the street.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know where I saw this recently, but there was some type of not a study, but there was an article written about
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time you saw
little
an In-N-Out commercial on TV?
how little In-N-Out Burger
You
pays
don't.
on
You
advertising.
don't.
Almost
They don't do
nothing.
them. Yeah, they don't have to.
And they have a something like $500 billion um, profit every, or that's how much they bring in.
Yeah.
And then they look at how many billions of dollars McDonald's and all those other fast food chains put out there for marketing, and they make the same, if not less. And it's like, it's funny. There isn't. I don't think I ever. But they're so pop, and it's funny because it's interesting how our society is so
Yeah.
built on progress. Everything has to be better than the year before. Every quarter of your sales and earnings has to be better. Everything's better. Everything's moving forward.
Yep.
And what's interesting is you see
Yeah.
places like McDonald's or
Yeah.
Jack in a Box, these places that were just burger joints, are now having tacos and
Yeah.
jalapeno poppers and all this different
Yeah.
stuff, but their sales don't go up because the food is pretty
Yep.
crappy. And then you look
And
at
In-N-Out
places
just
like
announced
In
that
n
they're
Out,
removing all that,
you're either
the
a
whatever mandated
hamburger
stuff.
or
Like
a
they're gonna start cooking
cheeseburger.
in beef
And the
tallow, and
variation
they're
is just
changing all their
how many
ingredients to make it
patties you're
even
going to
more
have.
natural.
And
So
they
I'm
are
sure that
killing it
they'll.
because of how fresh the food is and how good it
I
tastes.
don't know.
They've
Maybe it
almost
wasn't beef tallow, but
gone
whatever it was,
backwards
whatever
and they've made it more
issues or
simple, like
whatever
McDonald's
bad
was in the
stuff they had in their
50s
food now,
when that's all they had.
whatever bad
It was
stuff they
like you
had
get
in
a
their
milkshake,
food, they're already
fries,
changing
and a
it so
burger.
it's even more
Simple.
natural now than it was before. So it's going to be, yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe they're already
Were they
cooking
not
beef tallow.
cooking
I
in
don't
beef
know,
tallow
but
before?
they're they're making it even better. So I'm sure it'll be even better than it was before. So yeah,
It's beef
but
tallow.
yeah. If you want to go to Texas,
I was gonna say, 'cause if their fries were being cooked in vegetable or canola oil or whatever oil they were using, and now it's gonna go to beef tallow, those things are gonna be even better. Beef tallow is a sports app. Cool. Into it. Did you see? Speaking of food, did you see um, RFK Jr.'s I don't know who he was talking to, some senators or committee members. This is kind of like a viral thing that I saw where they were kind of grilling him on his policies and,
Yeah.
calling him a progressive and a radical and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's because he can't be
And it
bought.
was funny because he
He can't
made
be
this
bought.
comment where he goes,
That's the problem. Is all these
"You
people have all
all
these
have been
aspirations,
trying
these
to
goals,
get
and then the big food
chemicals
markets
or
come in
this
and they're like,
specific
"Yeah,
chemical
here's $100 million. How
out
about you
of
don't do
the
that?" And they're
food
like,
chain,
"Yeah, I'm not going
food
to do that."
system for
Same
over
with
20 years,
same with big pharma.
and you've been unsuccessful.
All these people, these
And
politicians
we've
come
only
in and
been in
they're like,
office
"I'm
for
going to clean
100
this up," and then
days,
big
and I already
pharma's
got
like,
it out.
"Here, I want you to
And
go
it
under
was
the
a really
table. Here's
interesting
here's
comment
$50
about
million.
like our
How
food
about you
system
don't do that?" And they're like,
and
"You know
how
what?
bad
I had
it
a
is.
change of heart. I don't
It's
think I
so
want to
bad.
do that anymore." It's like, "Oh, what a shock. Oh my God." All of a sudden. Yeah, I don't like people that are like, you can't be bought. I'm like, dude, everyone can, bro. It's
Yep.
everyone's. Yeah, I don't like all those hypotheticals and like all that stuff where people are like, oh, or even like the like the joke ones where people are like, oh, $100 million and you have to do this, and
And
people are
that's
like,
tough
oh,
because
I'd
I
probably
think
do it
about
for
myself
200 million. I'm like, bro,
and in the same,
I don't believe in those hypothetical questions because nothing you can't even
I'm pretty
simulate in your
sure if
brain
someone
what
said,
you
here's
think you would
$50
do
million,
until there's a briefcase sitting in front of you with $100 million in it. Your brain can't fathom that. Even so, even if you're like, okay, there's a
cut off
hundred
your
million
leg.
dollars sitting in front of me. I'm imagining it. I think my morals would come above that. I'm like, bro, until you can touch that money and you see it in front of you, and that's a real possibility, your brain is not. You're not operating at full capacity, and you can't even guess what you would do. Because if you legitimately got offered $100 million, that's generational, changing your family's history
Yeah.
for people that for people you'll never meet will be off and be good. So it's like you can say all this high and mighty stuff about, oh, I wouldn't do that and that's wrong. It's like someone hands you a check for $100 million, you may be like, I guess this isn't my battle to fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and I'm not saying I would, or yeah,
Ever.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
My question for you then. So I agree that that's what would happen, and I actually don't blame people that do it because that's just it happens. But here's my question: is there a way to
I mean, you can
stop
do whatever you want with your money. Is the
big
problem.
pharma or other
If I
interest
make a
groups
$200 million
from being
and I
able to
wanted to give you
give that
money,
money? So
they
I
can't be like, well,
don't
no,
even
you can't
take the
give
people
Mike
that are
money.
receiving it as being the ones that are the one like you. We're putting a block, a wall up between those. Like we're gonna monitor. You cannot receive any money, and
Yeah,
it's
but there's
all.
so
I mean,
many different
how is
ways
there
to get
even
it
a way to do
done.
that?
There's, you know what I mean? So it's hard. I think the only way to do it is to cut them at the knees. They need to stop making so much money and stop the cost of things is insane. Like the
But
profit
if it was like a
margins that they're
thing
making
where
on
it
people's
is
medical
I'm
care
pretty
is
sure you
absurd. And
can't take a
I'm a full
contribution
capitalist. I
if
believe
you're
that
in
everyone should be able
office.
to make
If
the
you
money that
accept
they can
any
make,
money from
however
anybody,
means doing it in
you're
legal
banned
means.
for
But
life.
the way they do it is it's borderline criminal. I mean, it basically is
Yeah,
criminal what they're doing
you're
and
right.
what they do and the prices that they make these things. It's like, dude, come on. So,
Yeah, yeah. Of that.
ooh, yeah, yeah,
So that what you're talking about. Here's an exact example of something that happened to me 2 weeks ago.
oh,
So
because you got it at the
back in
doctor.
episode two or
Yeah, I never
three,
take the shit from the
I
doctor.
showed my wrist when I heard it. That wrist guard that I had.
Yep.
That wrist guard can be purchased at CVS
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
$15. I
Yeah.
got
It's
a
just
bill in
like
the
the
mail because my
margins are
insurance
just.
decided not
I
to
never
cover
take though.
it.
Whenever I needed like splints
They
or
want
braces or like anything
$78
for an injury,
for that
I
wrist guard.
always just like, all right, we're just gonna go to
That
CVS
that that
after this and
that's
go pick it up. because it's like
And
there's
and
no
I'm like,
all that stuff's
so you're
there.
charging me $78 for a $15. That is insane.
Yeah,
That is an example of what you're talking about.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and funny thing is when you get those, those end of office visit statements when you go to the doctor.
Oh
I had
yeah.
a physical the other day, just doing a normal physical, and I go in there and the doctor takes my wrist and he's like, "Oh, looks like, yep, push on
Yeah.
this, pull on this, push up, push down." Like that's all he did, right? Just didn't do anything else really. He's like, "Oh, feeling your neck, things feel good." 15 minutes later, you're out of there. And I look at my statement. I don't pay anything for this because it's preventative and we have insurance. But you look at the cost breakdown. That examination was
Yeah.
$500 for 15 minutes. So you're telling me that you're making $2,000 an hour. That is so
No.
dumb. And now the reason I say that is if someone goes, "Oh well, Mike, you're not
Yeah.
actually paying that because the insurance company is." Yeah, but here's the
Yeah.
thing:
Yeah, I
insurance
mean,
companies
another
are
example
paying
is like even
this
like
to
vets, like
this
same thing with the
system,
vet. Like
which then
you
drives
go in
up the
there and it's like
costs
a lot of times
of
I'll go in there because Odin
healthcare
has allergies and all
and
kinds of skin issues, and
prescriptions,
it's like
so
sometimes they'll go
that
in
I
there and it's
can't
like
afford to
they'll
get
take a look
healthcare
at
on
this
my
a
own as a
hotspot
private
and it's like
party
I don't
because
do it
I
as
can't
much anymore now
afford
because I have so
seven
much
hundred
experience
dollars
with
a
it, but like
month. And
back
the reason why
earlier
they're charging me
and
so
it's like
much is because they're
vet
paying
comes in
so
for
much.
5 seconds and it's like,
Things are
oh yeah,
being
just give
billed
him
that are
some side point. We'll
ridiculous.
give him a shot. You're good to go. So okay, and that just them walking in the room is like $70, $65, $70 just to walk in the room. And I'm like, okay, if I just wanted the shot, I could have just came in and got the shot. I just wanted you to check him out and do other stuff. And then the last time we were in there was he broke and like ripped, almost completely ripped off one of his dew claws. And so I'm like, it wasn't, it was like if his foot was like this, his claw goes like this dew claw was literally like that, just completely sideways off his foot. And I'm like, great. And he's limping, and I'm like, all right, I'll take him in and have them just see if they can just like what they want to do. I'm like, hopefully they'll just get it off, right? And so he was limping, and then like they tried to grab his foot, and he was like, he wasn't having it. Like he was, it hurt. So he was like, And they're like, well, and so I put him in a muzzle. I'm like, he's got a muzzle, we're good. And she's like, well, we should probably just, it'll fall off. So, you should probably just go home, let him deal with it, because it's still connected a little bit. So like, just let it, it'll probably just fall off at home and you'll be good. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. He's in the muzzle. I'm paying you. You've already walked in the room. I'm paying you. So can you just grab those? I'm like, can you just grab those pliers? And I literally said, I'm like, is there a way that we can just get this done? So just in case this is like a complete massacre when it rips off, that it's, here and not in my home. And she goes, well, like, if you think so, then yeah, we can probably do that. So she literally grabs the thing, grabs his leg, rips it off within 2 seconds.
I'm already paying you.
And I'm like, why couldn't we have just done that? And you know what happened when she did that? It starts squirting
She
blood
wants you to go home.
all
She has
over
to
the
come
room.
back.
He painted this vet's office room. And so that, but they have they had gauze and everything, ready. So they're like, they put it on, they wrap it up, they get it all cleaned up and they put spray on it, wrap it, professionally and get it good. I'm like, dude, if he would have done that in my house, it would have been a train wreck, bro. He wouldn't have had his muzzle on. He would have been throwing blood everywhere. He'd have been started running around the house, just painting the house with blood. I'm like, why wouldn't you just try to help me while I'm here? I'm paying you for the visit. Why wouldn't you just recommend? Yeah, it's just sometimes I'm just like the medical field and it just blows my mind. I'm like, why would you not want to help me? And I like my vet. She's not bad, but it was just a weird moment where I'm like, I don't understand this. So, oh, for sure. He would have. It would have ripped off when he jumped up on the bed. He would have. That's when it would have ripped off. He would have destroyed our entire bedroom. No, no, no. He would have got it on everything. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Can you
definitely hundreds
imagine
of
how
dollars
much it
for
would have
sure.
cost you
Pillows, comforters,
if he would
sheets.
have sprayed blood all over your
Oh,
sheets, your
he
comforter,
could have. He could have
ruined
started
all
running
of your
around and going
bedding,
nuts because
ruined
he
your
wanted to.
couch?
He was trying to get away
You know
when
what
they
I
ripped
mean?
it off. He was trying to fucking start running around. So,
Yeah, all of that stuff's thrown. You're not
No,
getting
they grabbed it
dog
and
blood,
ripped it
that much of
off
it, out of your
because
sheets and stuff.
the
They're
the
gone.
nail was still hanging there. It was like the
Comforter,
nail was still attached.
hundreds of dollars,
So
maybe
the
even
nail was sideways. So they
thousands.
were just able to just grab it and yank it off real quick. But it's like it was still attached enough to
I
where
mean, it's like
the
pouch
blood
and
was still
stuff.
in there. So it was just absolute train wreck, dude. Dogs are his bills are
Did they use like
they
just
never
a
end, dude. He's
scalpel
got
and just
so
slice
many
it?
skin issues and everything.
Oh,
He's really
really?
trying to put a damper on us trying to buy a house. Every time I look at him, yeah, and it'll probably come back in a week.
Same with Finn. He's one. We don't take him to the vet at all
Yeah,
because I refuse to go because
yeah,
his ear. Even if I go in there and say, hey, he needs an ear irrigation to clean out his ear, they charge like $300 for that, and I'm like, I just
yeah,
exactly. So he has rubbed his ear so raw that when you flip up the flap of his left ear, there's like not hematomas, but he has scratched it
yeah,
so raw that it looks like cauliflower in his ear. Like he's just ripped it apart. And it's like we cleaned it today. We clean it like 3 times a week
yeah,
with like this different antifungal, anti yeast dog like wash. But it doesn't matter because he just paws at it so much. First thing he does in the morning,
yeah.
shoes on his feet and hits this, and it's gnarly. And we've tried
But no,
everything
for
from
sure,
like
it's like you can't
getting the
just continue a
expensive
medical
food
an
because he doesn't have
expense,
any
and if it's not
chicken
going to
in
get
it, all
better,
this different stuff that's supposed to be
no.
like an allergy. And I'm
Yeah,
just
and
like,
it's just
at some
it's
point,
none of the stuff with allergies or all that
I'm one
stuff.
of those
Nothing
weird
is ever
people. I love
guaranteed.
animals. I really do. I
Nothing.
love animals.
There's no
But
way
to
to know
me, an
ever.
animal is
There's
still
no
an
way to know
animal.
if it's there's no
And
way to
even
know
with
if
a
it's
dog,
food, if it's
I'm
environmental,
like, I love
if it's
dogs.
dust. A
Maybe I
lot of
shouldn't
times
say
it's
what I'm
just
going to say.
dust, and people don't even know that. And it's like, yeah, your dog's allergic to dust, so
But I
they're gonna
can't
have
spend
issues.
thousands of dollars
Yeah, but well,
on a
dust.
dog. I
It's
can't
like they're gonna
afford
be
that.
alert. They're gonna have that issue the rest of their life. You're never gonna get them away from dust. Dust is everywhere. You can't escape dust.
And that's it, is that
So
we don't actually know what it is. There isn't. No,
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Or there's a spore in your yard from a certain plant. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. Hip
Yeah.
dysplasias.
And you look it up. Like if you were to look up
Yeah,
the
for
King
sure.
Charles Cavalier Spaniels, they are notorious for yeasty ears, and it's like
If
it's
he's
kind of
if he's
commonplace.
not
It's
in
kind of
like
like
severe
having
pain and
a
he's
German
eating and
Shepherd, and
drinking
someone's
water,
like,
then it's like
"Wow, my German Shepherd has hip
he's
issues in the
fine.
back,"
Yeah, he's
and
fine.
you're like, "That's a known." Yeah,
Yeah,
they're 10 years old. You're lucky. Like they've made it that far. Like it's kind of like hip dysplasia happens, and it's like at some point I'm like, he's five
yeah,
years old. I'm just gonna keep cleaning it out and trying to help him out.
yeah.
He's totally fine.
Danielle's gonna start doing
But
that for our
he
dog
just rubs the
because I
heck
don't
out
want
of
to
his
spend the money on
ear,
the raw food anymore
and
because he's just
it's one of those things. Like I said, he's a dog. I'm not gonna go cook him food.
it's very
Sometimes
expensive.
people will be like, I'm gonna
It's
cook my food.
something
My
now when
parents do
if we
this for
buy
their
this
dog.
house, we're
They
looking at it
literally
like that
take
probably has to change
chicken
because
breast
that's
and
not a
turkey,
monthly expense
and
that
they
we're gonna be
boil it or
doing
cook it at
like
home,
for
and they
that
have it in
level
the
of food. Like
fridge. Dog
if we
food.
want him to
I'm like,
continue eating that, then
I
yeah,
can't
we're
do
gonna have
that.
to take a Saturday or a Sunday and just cook up all the food he's gonna eat for the week and portion it out and have it ready to go if
See,
that's what we want to
I
do.
was going to ask
But
you how much that costs. It's got to be expensive, right?
I know. I know. Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, I don't even have time to meal
Well,
plan
it's
for
just about their
myself
health.
like
That's all.
that.
It's just to try and make them live longer. That's all it
I'm
is.
not doing it
Because
for the
it's like
dog.
the kibble stuff
He goes
is
outside and
it's the
eats
same
cat
with our
shit.
food.
Like I'm gonna.
Our food went to shit, and so did dog's food. It
I
went
mean,
to
he's out there
complete
literally
shit.
eating
It's
like
all
dirty
chemicals
things out of
and
our
complete
bathroom
garbage
garbage
now.
can from
Like kibble is
female
just
napkins, if you know what I
vast
mean.
majority of kibbles
Like
are just killing your
he
dog.
eats
So
the grossest
it's
stuff you've
hard.
ever seen.
There's
But
no
it's like,
true
nah,
answer, and there's
you
no. I
gotta
mean, yeah,
have
obviously feeding
organic
them raw
chicken.
food is probably the best answer, but it's like, who knows how long of
I
who
know.
knows what that's how much longevity that's really given them. Who knows? Can't be bad for them, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, like podcasts.
Right.
Ooh,
No, maybe one day. Like if I'm like my parents, if I'm retired
I got to
and
train. Got to train
I'm thinking
dogs. We went and
like
did a
I'm not
went
trying
and
to be
saw a
selfish
house.
here,
Got to train
but
dogs because I got to go back and
I'm
see another
39
house
years old.
tomorrow.
I
So,
literally have barely any time in the day to do
oh,
anything. I can't. Yes. Yeah, I had to clear this hour
yeah, we
for
could
this
leave that one for
podcast.
you if you want.
I was
You have to
actually
talk to
doing a
Danielle
bunch of
because
stuff in
I'm
the
pretty sure she
garage,
would
trying
paint
to
that
just
first thing.
so I
But
wasn't
you
super
know,
busy just doing.
sure, if you want to pay for that, pay for the purple paint to whoever paints it, and then pay for the new paint
Make
and
sure
for the
I
painters to come
actually
back
like
and
the one
paint
you
the room
sent me.
again. Sure.
Do I get the pink bedroom upstairs?
Yeah.
Because that was a
Otherwise,
really
she's probably not
really
gonna go
pink
for it.
one.
Would be my guess. I don't think I've
Yes.
ever seen a room painted purple, so I don't think that's a normal room color.
Can we paint it like King's purple just for like the 2 months I'll be with you, or a month and a half?
You're gonna paint one of your rooms in your house purple. You're gonna paint it purple.
I got to double. I'm good.
Drywall. Isn't your house being built?
Yeah, that's probably
I'm not
true.
Bob the Builder. What are we constructing the house for? It's being built.
Well, you're gonna be seeing that in Spring Hill at my new house when you help me make the
Oh,
man
like this.
cave.
That one.
We're gonna be putting up
Yeah,
drywall.
this one.
We're
There's
putting up
little storage,
drywall.
but they're like half doors. Is
You're
there a
gonna learn
full
all this
door or a
stuff.
half door?
It's fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
There
most of the storage ones
is
look like that
there is in the upstairs loft
as a half
a
door.
door that goes into a 150 square foot unfinished storage area.
Yeah, it's just the subfloor and it's completely
So
unfinished. Yeah,
unfinished,
but it's just storage.
right? Yeah, this is a full door. This is a full door. So what I'm gonna do,
Yeah. Well, you have to
well,
put air
I'll
vents
just
in there
duck down if
because
it looks like
that
that.
thing is about 185 degrees year round.
But when you
It's
open it,
so
isn't
hot
it
in there.
isn't it 2x4s and just like what's on the
Yeah.
floor? Plywood? But see, here's the thing. If you go into unfinished, it's so simple to grab sheetrock from Home
Maybe.
Depot
It's
and
hot,
you
dude.
literally
It gets hot
put it
in
up.
there. It's dead air in there, yeah. So I mean, I guess you would when you put up drywall and everything and insulation, it'll help.
So
But
I
with
thought
no
about that.
airflow in there, you would have to leave
I
that
don't
door open
care
pretty much all the time.
if I have a full size door because if I'm in there, I could just open the
Yeah,
door and have a fan.
it'll definitely be dark if you have no light
Really?
in there. Yeah, yeah. So I'm putting up drywall with you.
I just feel like if you insulated it and then put up
Well,
sheetrock, it
you and
would
I may have a
stay.
different version
I
of
mean,
what
it's
fun is, but
upstairs.
sure.
I'm thinking it'd be cool because it would be dark. You know what I mean? It's not like it's in the rafters. If the AC is going and you open the
Pause.
door and the AC in the house,
Pause.
you know what I mean? Don't kill my dream right now. Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's so small. Well, I'm just saying, all I need help with is the drywall. You hold it while I screw it. And then once it's screwed in,
Are you gonna wire electricity to it? Are you gonna have a
then you
TV or
take
anything?
tape on the joints and then you can mud and putty the wall. I mean, I'll do all that finishing stuff,
Oh, because there's a
but I'm
little
gonna
like
make an actual room,
yeah, but there's no
and there's
outlet.
gonna be like Kings memorabilia. I'm gonna put my stadium chairs in there. All the stuff that I'm not
You
allowed to
can
put in the house, like this poster behind
run
me,
wire now.
all this kind of stuff that can't go up is gonna go up in there.
I mean, I would say electricians would probably differ, saying
So
that
there's
running
already gonna
wire and
be
doing all that is
electricity in
easy,
there.
not as easy as just turning the power off.
Yeah, I'll figure that out. I can put that in. It's not that hard. You just turn the power off. That's the biggest thing. Make sure the power's off. My brother-in-law's an electrician. So what I'm gonna do, like a smart person, is I'm gonna FaceTime
Yeah,
my
you don't. I would
brother-in-law,
say you
who's an
don't want to burn down
electrician,
your new
and
house. That
before
would
we do
be
any of the
pretty
sheetrock,
bad.
because you don't have to cut
That
anything
would
out,
be
or
not
it's
good.
gonna be exposed. So if I
Yeah,
have an
so I mean,
exposed
while you're doing
light,
that, you
and
may
he
as
can
well
just
just
tell
run
me, go buy
HVAC to it
this
then.
wire. This is how you're
Because
gonna
I'm
put it
sure you're going to
together.
say
You
HVAC is
run
as
it
easy
here,
as just
run it
turning
down there,
AC
put the
off.
box right there. I can
So
easily do that because he's gonna tell me what to code, like what has to be for
there you
safety,
go. Some
what
duct
has to
tape.
go there. I'm not just gonna be like hot wire
Some
going to
duct
the
tape.
wall, burned out my new house. That'd be bad.
So you don't. So you don't need any storage then.
Yeah, you just use toilet paper rolls and you put them all together end to end, and just put a little hole in it. Yeah, easy, easy.
It's only one
No,
car.
and the funny part
It's only
is I
one
don't
car.
really know what that room's gonna be like. I'm just hoping it's gonna be what I'm envisioning. And if not, the garage will be that.
You like literally can't walk in there. Yeah.
I mean, not really, because the garage is gonna be
Put the
one
storage
car,
racks above the garage door.
and then if I end up putting dogs in there, then no
Yeah.
car. We
That's
talked
what we
about
do.
just us parking. What's that?
Just sits above the door. If the door has
Well, it's a
enough
two-car
clearance.
garage. My truck is big. If we were to put my truck
Yeah, we already. I
in the
mean, that's
garage with
we
Alicia's
don't
car
do that.
next
We
to
don't have any
mine,
cars in our garage right now.
you
Just because
couldn't
we
put
have
dog
our
bones.
dining room table and all that stuff in
I mean,
there
you could walk,
for
but you're not
moving.
putting storage
Yeah.
racks and all that stuff.
Yep. Well, cool. So I get to design a
You mean
man
like the
cave.
up
So do I get
above
to paint
ones?
it then, or
It could do that. Yeah.
oh, I have a
But either
jersey for you
way,
too. You can put that jersey up that I
we're,
have
we're
for
not
you.
doing both cars. Both cars aren't going in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Don't you remember? I got an extra jersey from Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
My,
showed
my
it to
truck's too
you.
big. It wouldn't work.
You remember?
So, yeah.
Yeah, yes. I had jerseys for me, for you, and for
You
Paul.
can help me paint.
Yeah, here, I probably have it right here. Let me see.
You have a jersey for me. Huh? You never told me that. I don't think you did.
Look at that.
No. Oh, I didn't
That's
remember
gonna go
that.
good with your king stuff. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting, Jared is talking about Jay Cutler. Oh, sweet.
You get those by illegal means?
Yeah. That's gonna get framed. So on that same vein, hold on, check this out. So those stadium chairs that I got, I can talk about it because we're not famous and no one's ever even going to watch this anyway. But my dad, no, my dad grew up in Sacramento on J Street. His across the street neighbor was a guy that he went to elementary school with, and he ended up being the Kings owner from like 1985 to the early 90s. So he was part of a group that brought the Kings to Sacramento. So he was an owner, right? He's been honored at the Kings Arena. He was an owner.
Oh.
And when the Arco Arena was ripped down, he called my dad and was like, "Hey, I have these extra stadium chairs at my house. Do you want them?" And
Uh-huh.
my dad knows that I like memorabilia and stuff, so he went and snagged them for me. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So then last week, he sent my dad a text and he's like, hey, I have another chair, and it's one of those single folding chairs with the padded seat and the padded back that has a guy's
For
name on
sure.
it because he was one of the
This guy's a
sponsors of the
this guy's a
team.
treasure
It
trove
was
for sure.
his front row seat from Arco Arena. So it was like his seat that whenever he would go to the games on Kings
Yeah, a lot of
Court,
those guys
he
do.
would sit in the front row in that seat. So I'm getting that seat. But that's not even the cool part of the story. I mean, it's going to be cool to have that. I want that for sure. But then he goes, because then my dad goes, hey, do you have any other memorabilia that you just want to get rid of? Because my son loves all of it. He would take anything. Right. And here's the best part. He doesn't even care about basketball. He said he'd never watched basketball
You
until they
get in the
owned the
car and
team.
you start driving. You're like, I'm on
He
my
said he
way.
didn't. He's like, it doesn't care. It was a financial thing, the whole owning and for the construction, whatever. So then he goes, yeah, actually I do. And he goes, up in my attic, I have a box of signed jerseys. Do you think he would want those? And I'm like, my dad tells me this, and I'm going, 100% yes.
I don't. I
I'm
don't think an
like,
owner is
so
having
because I'm
screen print
wondering,
jerseys
given
signed.
his
I'm sure
time
he
period,
has. Yeah,
mid
he's
80s
an
to early
owner. He's
90s, I'm
got
like,
legit. These are
that's
probably
going to be
real
Mitch
game
Richmond,
authentic jerseys. They
Reggie
have to be. I
Theus.
would be shocked
Are
if
we
he
going to
has
have like legit 1990s? And then I'm thinking to myself, are these going to be like,
could be.
there's a possibility, could they be authentic ones? Like this is a jersey that they would have given him from the team, not like they bought
Slow
it.
down.
You know what I mean?
Don't you say
That's what
that?
I'm
Okay, here we
saying.
go. Here's another one. What if this is like some rare jersey of, I don't even know if the Kings even had anyone that's
Well,
worth
and then what
anything
if it
back then,
goes
but like some
further?
absurd
And what if
jersey
they're
that's
game
signed
used?
that's worth
Like this
a
could be.
boatload of
And
money.
then
So
the
here
cool
we go.
part
Here, let's
is
play the
they'd
game
be
that we
going to the
said we
best
can't play.
person ever
What's
because I'm not going to
I know,
sell
but I'm
any
just
of
saying.
them.
So what is the
I
number
will
all of a sudden? If there
literally,
was some crazy jersey, what is that number
I
that you
would
would
not
sell it?
sell any of them.
I know, but I'm just saying. What's the number? Yeah.
Nothing's going to
One,
be worth
two,
that
three,
much.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
hold on. Like, here's the thing. This isn't the Lakers. If this is like Jerry West
Be
or
pretty
Wilt
sweet.
Chamberlain, it's like Mitch Richmond.
Be
Sure, it's a
pretty
Hall of
sweet. So you have
Famer,
no idea
but
whose
if they're
jerseys
the thing
or
is for
how
me,
many.
the
I mean, he
coolest
said
thing for me
box also.
in
He
a
said he
man
has a
cave
box of jerseys.
is
That's
if I
like.
had like what you did with your jerseys and had all of these
So did your
Kings
dad go
players
like walk across the street and pick them up or what? Or no, he doesn't
and
live
did
there
that,
anymore.
and then in the man cave have a wall
Yeah.
of all Kings signed jerseys from that era,
Where does this
that
guy
would
live?
be so sick.
Oh.
All he said was he said he put a box of autographed jerseys in his attic. So well, no,
You have to. Oh,
no, that was when
slow
my dad
down.
was a kid
You
where they
have. You
lived.
realize you have to
But
go with your
now, but
dad.
they're still friends. So my dad said that in Sacramento somewhere. So he
Buddy, you
basically
start
told my
walking around and
dad,
you're like,
he's
"Oh, do
like,
you
hey,
like
I'll
that?" He's like,
text you or
"Nope." You're like,
call you
"Cool, great.
when you can come over to
I'll
pick him
help you
up.
out."
So my dad's just waiting for him to call. And I'm like, that is. But here's the other
Yeah,
part.
but in that
Hold on.
attic,
That
I'm talking about the
chair that I
attic.
was telling you about, the Kings. Yeah. But it's one
If
of
this
those
guy
things
has
where
a
like
box of signed jerseys, he's probably got some stuff.
you can't though. But see, here's the thing. I bet you anything, he doesn't have anything like that up in his house
Yeah.
because he doesn't care about basketball. I
Oh,
mean,
just
the
this
attic could just be
autographed
you pop the
set of
ceiling and
jerseys
pull out a
that's from
box. It might
an
not be
entire
like
team.
all.
I'm trying to. I don't even. Other than like Mitch Richmond, I don't even know 80s and I don't know 80s and 90s
My
Kings.
dad did
That's
tell
too early
him.
for me.
I did tell my dad to do this for me. We told him through my dad, if there's anything you don't want, my son will take anything. Is what I basically said.
Yeah.
So anything you don't want, I will take. 100%. That would be
Pretty sweet.
so here's So funny story. I was just cleaning out the garage. I told you, getting rid of stuff, and I have this book of old photos from when I was a kid, like fishing and doing all that kind of stuff. And there's a picture of me when I was 9 years old at some lake,
That's the only one
and
I
I'm
know.
sitting on this
So
log,
I was
rod
gonna
in
say Bobby
hand,
Hurley.
fishing,
That was my
and I'm
next one.
wearing
I
a
was gonna say
Sacramento
Bobby.
Kings
Bobby would
t-shirt
be the only one.
when I was like 9 years old. And I'm like, so I used to watch the Kings. So early, they'd be like Brian Grant, Tyus Edney, Michael Smith, Lionel Simmons. It would be Wayman Tisdale, like all these guys, Mitch Richmond,
Yeah.
Bobby
Yeah, my
Hurley.
my man cave's a little different. It has no theme to it
I mean,
other than just dogs.
yeah, but that's I mean,
If someone
and that's
walked
the
it,
thing is
if,
I don't
like, if someone
care
just took a photo
who they
of
are
this
because I
room, they'd
know
be
all the
like,
players on that team,
"What is this
and
guy
just the
going-
coolness of
what's
having
going
like
on?"
the old owner gave these to my dad,
I'd be like, "This
who
guy
I
has
now
some
have framed
weird
in my
taste in
Kings
football
man
teams,"
cave.
and I mean, they're all legit
That's
players,
sick.
so it's not like it'd be that weird. But it was just they'd be like,
The man
"This
cave.
guy's just got a fascination with jerseys or something." I mean, it is, you know, they're all. I mean, they're all legit. I mean, yeah, it's all but that's why I like them is because it's like they're cool for me because I know these people. That's why it's like I'm not just gonna go buy the only
Is this a
jersey I
flea
talked
market
about the other
sale?
day because I was looking at all these jerseys and I was like, I think I said it to Danielle. I was like, the only jersey that I would buy that I obviously have no connection to the person that would also go up in the man cave would be a signed Barry Bonds jersey. That's probably the only one that I would buy, just because.
Oh, cool.
No, his signature's rare. He didn't sign a lot, so it's like his jerseys they're like thousands, I think, his signed jerseys. But no, he doesn't sign much, and so he was just the king of when I was a kid. Like that was my person of like local teams. Got it. He was such a freak. So that would be the only player that would go up in the man cave that I
Does
don't
he
know.
sign ever?
He has a pass. Other than that,
Yeah.
so all you famous,
That's what I was going to say. He does not sign.
yeah.
And I hated him.
Oh, yeah,
So.
that's legit. Yeah, same thing. Mark McGuire's the man. My I see my favorite basketball player growing up is someone who just gets disrespected.
Well,
He gets
same
no
thing
recognition for anything.
with my
ever.
old when I was a
T-Mac.
kid. It was everyone loved Griffey, obviously, but
He gets no
my
recognition
local
for how
team
good
favorite
he
player
was.
was Mark McGuire.
He was a
So like
monster,
that
dude.
for me.
He gets no
and
one
same
ever
same
talks about
scandal,
T-Mac, and he dominated
right?
the NBA. Dominated.
Yeah, same thing.
For years.
They both use steroids.
What? He was so much better than Vince Carter. He's way better. I mean, his
He was
prime
legit.
was way better than Vince Carter's prime. Vince Carter had long.
He hasn't.
Vince Carter had longevity, but no one ever talks about T Mac ever, and he was so good.
I mean,
It was a
he was
joke how good
he was on the same level as Vince Carter, in my opinion.
So,
Same level. Well, that's what I'm saying. I said
Giants,
same level.
Giants.
He might even be better.
yeah,
And Vince Carter's a Hall of Famer.
8 times Silver Slugger, right?
Here you go, buddy. We can
Plus
get you
8 times
a
Silver Slugger, right?
inscribed Barry Bonds Pirates
there's a-
jersey. I'm sure you'd want a Giants one.
It's not
It
SS.
says 700. It's inscribed 762 home runs, 8 times 66.
There's one that like
Barry
has like
Bonds,
it's
pretty
his
sick.
signature, and then it says
For-
like his gold.
and it's
he
all-
like
it's
wrote
all
like my
COA,
gold
like,
gloves
it's
and
all
his
legit.
4-time MVP or whatever, however many MVPs he
465.
won, and then
What's that?
that one is on eBay too. That one's like several. I think it's
Oh, that must be what it is then.
$100,000, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
What says 8 times BB or 66? Unless the dude's never doesn't know how to write,
Oh.
I don't think so.
It's probably bidding though. Oh, still, 500. It's a lot of money, dude. That's so much money.
Yeah, that one, yes. If you wanted just a regular
Yeah,
Barry
I
Bonds
like
one
the
here, it
jerseys
looks
I have
like you can
because
get
I
it for
have
like
connection to each one.
a
of them,
Giants
so
one,
It's kind of
like
it that way.
$750.
Makes
Here's
it
one for
better.
$550.
And the gloves. I can't leave out the gloves.
I mean,
I have one,
No, no,
two,
these are
three,
buy now.
four, five, six, seven, eight jerseys and a pair of gloves.
I mean, still that's
So I got to get more. So all you
plus
athletes that are
tax
watching
and
this, I know you're
shipping,
dying to have me train your dog. So just give me a
plus the
call, and we
framing. You're
can.
going to be in it for
You
like
also
$750
can
easy.
join
It's a
the
lot of money.
Hall of Fame in here.
Yeah,
So I know athletes are it's the buzz going around all the major league sports is how do I get him to
for
have
sure.
my jersey signed and up in his man cave. So
Yeah,
just know that we can make it happen for you.
heck
Well,
yeah.
I think we did it. We're at an hour and 10 minutes. Next week. How many more weeks do we have until we don't have to do it on Zoom?
The elite group.
And I'll say at least 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll probably skip the week that you're driving
All
and
right.
save it till you're here and do it then.
Let's
So
let's
probably
let's
five
save some
more.
of our
So
content
just
for the
half of
next
what we've
show.
already done, which seems like a long time.
Well,
Yeah, I think I figured it out. I
not
think I
that
know what to
many.
do. It
Like
was
6 weeks.
I think yeah, it's just
I think it's like
I don't know
6.
anything about audio and everything, so yeah, I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, ask Jeeves. That's the thing.
And
All right, buddy.
and then we'll
Well,
figure out how we can
have a
do
good
in
weekend, my
person
friend.
where it doesn't sound like
Adios to all
shit.
of our listeners. Till next time.
Okay. It's something probably easy. There's probably a switch on the board or something. We'll Google it. We'll ask Jeeves. All right. You too, brother. Till next time.